0319 for details. BMW of Austin, 7011 McNeil Drive. Experience our passion.
Welcome to the Treehouse of Love. We're live. Join the conversation at 512-836-0590. Now, here are Todd and Don.
And thank you for joining us. You can always join us in the conversation at 512-836-0590.
We appreciate it.
It is 7:07. We do it every day at this time. The Daily Dossier, the top stories you need to know about. A House bill to provide $4.5 billion to improve the treatment of migrant families detained after crossing America's southern border is hitting another snag. The White House has issued a veto threat, saying the measure lacks money for beds that Immigration and Customs Enforcement needs to let it detain more migrants. White House officials also complained the House bill has no money to toughen border security. House leaders are still hoping for approval as early as today. Also in the dossier, a Texas congresswoman says about 30 children remain in a remote Border Patrol station in South Texas where reportedly 300 immigrant children have been detained. Attorneys who visited that facility near El Paso just last week say they saw children who were hungry and dirty and hadn't showered in days. Also part of the dossier, Capital Metro's got some good news. Ridership numbers continue the upward trend. Yeah, the latest report shows a jump of 11.5% in the month of May compared to a year ago. Now, it was earlier, which Capital Metro says an increase of more than 274,000 people. They say the numbers are also up in the month of April, which is good news, they say. Now, the critics say, well, that's because you allow more people to ride for free during the summer months.
Exactly.
Now, also in the dossier, some members of the Austin Police Department say they can expect to see tent cities popping up in Austin by the end of the year. That is the warning from top brass at police headquarters. This all since the city council changed its homeless ordinances. There's a growing concern about tents lining Congress Avenue, but Mayor Steve Adler, speaking with Fox 7 News, he says that's silly.
It would certainly make sense to me that when we're identifying areas where people can be and where they can't be, that Congress Avenue is not a good place for people to be camping.
Yeah, the Austin Police Association thinks the city council's decision is backfiring, as evidenced by Governor Greg Abbott threatening to step in and say the state could override local leaders on this issue. Now, also in the dossier, you know how much your personal details are really worth on you? But how much are those deets worth to companies that collect it, like Google, Facebook, and Amazon? It's a question that some lawmakers on Capitol Hill want to answer as they increase pressure on these big tech giants to disclose how much information about us that they're really collecting, that is, and how much they get for sharing it with advertisers. Senator Mark Warner of Virginia and Josh Hawley of Missouri have proposed legislation that would force Google, Facebook, and Amazon to tell its users what data is being collected from those users and how much that information is worth when it's sold to, marketers out there across the planet.
Got to be worth something.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
for sure. I mean, they're about, I'm about to make a purchase due to a pop-up that came up because of a search I did, and it does work. It does work.
Now, that's our daily dossier. It's on the front page of our websites at newsradioklbj.com with links providing more details on each one of those stories. You can also follow us in the world of YouTube at Todd Jeffries and at News Radio KLBJ. Speaking of, the data that's collected on us, here's what Josh Hawley, he's a Republican from Missouri, he says, when a big tech company says its product is free, consumers are the ones being sold. These free products track everything we do so tech companies can sell our information to the highest bidder and use it to target us with creepy ads. Even worse, tech companies do their best to hide how much consumer data is worth and to whom it's being sold to. Would you like to know that? What is being specifically collected on you and who they're selling that information to?
I would. I'm not necessarily, worried about it, losing sleep about it, but it would be fascinating to see the trail of how far it goes and who it goes to.
Yeah, specifically who it goes to, right?
Absolutely.
Well, here's the measure would require commercial services with more than 100 million active monthly users to disclose to their customers and the financial regulators the types of data that is being collected. They would also have to provide their users with an assessment at frequent intervals of data's value on them. How much the data is worth on you.
Right.
How much we're selling it for.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. I never thought it would have an effect on me, but when I think back, no, actually there's several purchases I have made as a result of some of these things. So.
Now, it comes as bipartisan support grows in Congress for a privacy law that could sharply rein in the ability of these big tech companies to collect and make money from users' personal data. Now, at the same time, a House panel has opened a bipartisan investigation into market dominance, specifically Facebook, Google, and Amazon. There's a lot of fear, especially in those tech headquarters, that they could be broken up by lawmakers. We've done it before in the phone industry, the electric industry, and there's more and more folks saying it's time to break these tech giants up.
Yep, and certainly not great for small business, that's for sure. So.
All right, it is 7:12 here on the Todd and Don Show. We were talking earlier about Lyft, or rather Skip Scooters is coming to town. They've been banned in D.C. because they had a fire with one of their scooters. Rick is on 45 this morning. Hey, Rick.